Hello. I'd like to introduce you to start with to a friend of mine, and it's kind of a strange friend, so I'll just quickly show you. Hang on. Turning around. Okay, there it is. There's my friend. Isn't he great? See that? Isn't that fun? See that toe? The big toe. I'm looking at the big toe right there. Yeah, so that's what I got to do yesterday. I had to take off work for that. So anyway, so why do I have this? Oh, hello. Sorry. I know that was scary. It was really scary. Okay, why do I have this thing on my foot? Well, let's just say that when you have depression, it's like you're distracted. It's like you're distracted a lot, and you don't really. I think the level of self-care, just caring for yourself, drops significantly. You don't care so much. The fact that I used to worry a lot more about what I was eating, and I've gained weight, and let's just say that it's impacted my life in a lot of bad ways, and leave it at that. But self-neglect is another byproduct of having depression. And now I'm looking at having bills because of it, because I didn't respond like I should have and use good judgment that you would think I would have had, but I didn't, because I attribute it to having depression. And this whole, it's hard to be motivated to really do anything or care. So yeah, I'm going to have with my insurance, there's a deductible. There's going to be a deductible. There's going to be out of pocket or co-insurance after my insurance pays for the OR room and the doctor, the surgeon's charge, and the anesthesiologist's charge. Probably they're going to charge me for that fancy little shoe that I'm wearing. Yeah, it's not good when you're already hurting financially. We used to have quarterly bonuses at my work, and we don't anymore. And that was like a $2,000 cut in pay for us. And it's pretty hard. It's hard to make ends meet. I'm not whining too much, because there's a lot of people that are in that situation for one reason or another. But anyway, so back to my foot. I dropped, this 2 months ago, I was doing a project in my kitchen, and I have a butcher block in my kitchen that's made out of marble. I wouldn't have it, except that the guy who was living with me, who I was trying to make happy, because I was afraid he was dying and I wanted him to be happy, and basically everything that he wanted, I tried to make possible. So I have this butcher block in my kitchen. He wanted a butcher block, and there it sits. And above the butcher block, I have a pots and pans rack that's suspended from the ceiling. I have pots and pans on it, and also on it was a glass lid. So 2 months ago I was doing this project, a glass lid. I guess I bumped my head or something, maybe one of the pans. And the glass lid came down, shattered on the butcher block into a bazillion pieces. And in the process of sweeping the floor, I got a couple of those pieces in my foot. Well, I got them out right away. But then about a week later, one showed up behind my big toe on the bottom. And like an idiot, first I tried to take it out myself like I had the other pieces, but I wasn't able to. And then like an idiot, I just let it go. I'm like, okay, well, eventually it'll come out on its own, right? Well, I suppose that might be true in most cases, but because it's on the bottom of my foot and I'm walking on my foot a lot, what actually happened was this little tiny sliver of glass worked its way in, a total of 4 millimeters, and was right up against the tendon on the verge of doing some serious damage. And of course my toe got very infected, and here I am walking on the outside of my foot for the last 2 months and throwing off my ankle and my knee, and causing me a great deal of problems and a lot of pain, until finally I'm like, okay, I can't deal anymore. Actually, a month ago I went to my my primary care doctor, who took one look, and he goes, "Oh, that's just a wart. We can just freeze that off." And that sounded really painful, because by that time the thing was really infected, and the idea of him freezing it off with nitro didn't really sound so fun. So I'm like, "Oh, no, it's okay. I don't think so." So then a week ago, approximately, actually last week, and I went to the Silver Lake Clinic, and I had a doctor there look at it, and they x-rayed the toe, and they didn't see anything in there, and she also thought it might be a wart. She thought it might be a plantar wart. She said they could be very painful. So I was sent to a podiatrist in Everett at the Gunderson building, who actually knew her stuff, and I had a little ultrasound of my toe, and sure enough there were pockets of infection in there, and this little tiny itty bitty shard of glass, and the radiologist is like, "Oh, it's in very deep. It's as deep as it can really go." So it was a matter of needing to get it out because of the infection and the fact that it would only get worse. So long story short, I had to have surgery. They couldn't just take it out in the room because of the nature of the thing. It was right by the tendon, and also there's a chance that they might not be able to find it. They'd have to be digging around in there and all this good stuff. So I had to take 2 days off on Tuesday to go to the pre-op visit. Now I'm all the way run out on my paid time off at work, because between the depression and being on extended illness benefit, my extended illness benefit went from approximately 200 hours down to 23 hours. So now I have nothing left of it. That's all because of the depression. So people who are of the opinion that it was a harmless thing that the bartender did, and ultimately what the guy who lived with me did, that basically compounded the depression that I had after my marriage, it's not really, it has caused me a great deal of harm. Not just socially, not just, it's causing me harm in a lot of different aspects of my life. I'm not at work today either, and today I'm not getting any money for it. I had surgery yesterday, a whole day off for that, and today that used up the last of my paid time off. So today I'm sitting here with a foot that's killing me, and I am not getting paid for it, so I'm going to lose about $100, maybe $120 today because of this foot. That, maybe if I hadn't been depressed, I would have had the wherewithal, I don't know if that's the word, I would have had, maybe I would have been smarter, I don't know. It's hard to say how I would think when I'm not affected by something that, it's not like you really can pinpoint how the depression affects everything, but let's just say that I think when you have depression, you don't care so much about yourself. You let yourself go. I know that I've gained weight. I used to really think about, because I'm not able to exercise because I have this wonderful urticaria and allergy to the chemical change that happens when you warm up. Anyway, so I've been trying very hard to I've been trying to not get fat, but since anyway, so the moral of the story is depression can cause a lot of bad problems, not just to your life, social life, and your employment. It can definitely manifest at work, and your performance at work might go down because you're distracted a lot. You might lose your car. You might end up totaling your car because you're distracted. That's what happened to me last fall. And now I have, I'm not saying that every bad thing in my life is happening because of this bartender or the guy who lived with me, who basically added to contributed to my getting to feel like shit about myself and like whatever. But I'm just saying, this is a warning to people who have depression, that a little thing like a sliver, if you don't do something about it, if you don't care, can really become a bad thing. Something that if I had gone to the doctor the moment I found the thing and realized I couldn't get it out, which would have been like 6 weeks ago, probably they could have gotten it out with a tweezer. But instead I just put it off, and I I don't know if it's self-abuse, I'll just walk around with this thing in my foot, and every step felt like I was stepping on this glass. Every step was like it was driving this little piece of glass deeper and deeper and deeper. How fun do you think that is? But it's like, what, maybe on some level I'm thinking I deserve it. I don't know. But anyway, so I guess the point of the video is, if you're depressed, be aware of yourself. Be aware that putting off something as small as a sliver can really have, it's not going to make it better, it's only going to make it worse. And then you're going to end up with more problems. Like me, I'm now going to have bills that I can't afford. And yeah, it sucks that I have depression. It sucks that that whatever factors contributed to me having depression, it sucks, but at the same time, all I have is me. I don't have any there's nobody helping me. There's nobody, and I'm not going to say that completely, because I had two wonderful people help me yesterday. I had a friend drive me to the OR, and I had another friend drive me home. So I'm finding out who my friends are. But what I'm saying is, there's a point where you have to say, okay, well, I understand what caused the depression. I understand what made me feel that way, what has caused me to but there's a point where you have to take yourself in hand and say, okay, either I'm going to live or I'm going to die. And I'm going to continue to on the same path where I'm going to say fuck this shit, and I'm going to pull myself out. And I've been trying to pull myself out. That's the whole point of what I've been trying to do for the past year or more. Well, as long as I can remember, actually. It's not easy. But when it starts to impact your health, it's like, okay, bad things happen, and I could blame it on it all goes back to this here. This is what started me on the path to this and it's all because of this, that I had this bad thing happen. Maybe that's true on some levels, but there's also a point where you have to say, okay, but there needs to be, you need to love yourself more enough, like that's good grammar. You can't not care about yourself. It's like, okay, you had some bad shit happen to you. And this is what I'm trying to tell myself. You had some bad shit happen to you. You're depressed, and you're neglectful, and you're not as reliable and responsible as you used to be, because you're distracted all the time by different thoughts and stuff. And I sometimes find myself crying while I'm driving my car, and just things like that, or whatever. But there's a point where you have to say, you know what, this is hurting me too much, and I don't deserve this shit. I don't deserve to have a sliver in my foot for 2 months and put up with the pain of that. I don't deserve to have to hurt. I don't deserve pain. I don't deserve to have all my paid time off used up at work, and all my extended illness benefits used up. I don't deserve to have my credit affected. I don't deserve to be fat. I don't deserve to let my health go to shit. Ultimately, there's a point where you have to be strong enough to say, fuck this shit. And I don't want to say snap out of it, because you can't just snap out of depression. But you have to start to care. You have to start to say, you know what? I don't deserve this shit. I don't deserve it. And you just, I wish I could put, sometimes I have a thought in my head and I just can't get the right words to come out. There's a point where you have to say enough is enough. 5 years from now, I could trip going down the stairs and fall and get brain damage, hit my head and get brain damage. Am I going to blame that on the pieces of shit that treated me like shit and made me feel like shit, 2 or 3 years ago? Am I going to blame it? Every bad thing that happens to me, well, it's because I have depression, and so I'm this way now. Well, yeah, but there's a point where let's get better. Let's say, okay, I have depression, but I'm going to start to care about myself. Maybe that's what it is. You need to care about yourself, and fuck the people that make you feel like you don't deserve any better. Fuck them. I don't deserve the shit. I don't deserve this stupid toe, and the stupid brace on my foot and all the crap I had to go through because of a sliver. I should have had I should have been on the ball. I should have gotten myself to the doctor when it happened instead of putting it off and being distracted and stuff. All these things that I should have done instead of wallowing around. Oh, I have depression. Poor me. Oh, my foot hurts. Anyway, I don't know if this is making any sense. This is one of those videos where I have a thought and I'm not speaking it, I'm not getting it out very well. I'm doing a really crappy job, but I hope somehow there's a message here to somebody who's got depression maybe watching this. And you know what? Be aware of yourself. Be aware. And if something bad happens to you physically, don't, oh, I deserve this, I guess, maybe, well, no, you don't. And, the basic things about being kind to yourself, that's up to you to do. So, anyway, I'm going to stop before I continue to dig my hole deeper here that I'm not making any sense at all. Another lesson learned, I guess, is what it's coming down to. And next time I step on pieces of glass, I'll maybe think a little bit more about, the damage that could happen if you put off taking care of yourself. So, thanks for listening again. Bye.